Hey, what's going on? It's Willis here. So, I want to start by sharing a little background about why I'm making this video. About 3 or 4 years ago, when I was first thinking a little bit more about, what kind of coaching I want to do, what I want to share with the world, what kind of market, what kind of clients, who do I want to work with? I thought about uh, Americans of Asian descent because one, that's what I am. It's part of what I know, and I know that is such a broad spectrum, but it is an important part of my identity, and I understand, at least from my perspective, how the different mixes in culture and values between in a primarily Eastern and Western ways of thinking, the two ways of thinking, how they affect me and the difficulties or the journey of me trying to incorporate both aspects of who I am in a cohesive way, to basically live in either environment. And I do believe that obviously we are an intersection of a near infinite number of factors, from our gender to our age, um, racial, religious, socio-economic, if I mentioned that, backgrounds. All these things contribute to our unique identity. And I do believe that we should treat everyone as individuals. However, obviously the backgrounds that we have do impact the way that we think and our experience in the world. And so I'm trying to straddle or navigate balancing both both sides of the human experience. The fact that we are all individuals, and that, what I do is I try to help people find their own voice and develop their own identity and reflect on all the things, all the inputs, and to think about and adopt what makes sense to them while discarding things that may no longer be relevant or no longer applicable. But at the same time, coming from an angle where I recognize the challenge of trying to of being someone from a mixed culture. And so, I, over the course of my journey through this process of maturation for myself, I kind of got away from thinking about working primarily with people of mixed cultures. But then it seems that the journey has come a little bit full circle, where I'm revisiting it again. And that's why I want to share these slides that I made, a couple years ago. It says here that it was last edited in May of 2021, but that was probably just me putting it in a separate slide, whereas I made these probably a year or two before that. And this is specifically about Americans of Asian descent. And again, I prefer to word it that way because we're Americans first. And uh, it's, again, the balance between what is a reality of the current reality, which is that our race and our background does affect our experience, and where we want to move potentially in the future, which is that we see everyone as American first, and race maybe becomes, we eliminate it from our perception of people eventually. And so the idea is that for people of Americans of Asian descent, and again, that is a huge swath of people, and it's not a monolithic group, but there is this trend that we do well in school, and there's even reverse affirmative action in terms of limits on school quotas or college admissions, but we are underrepresented in high levels of corporate office, in management, in the media, in politics, in sports, etc. And there's a sizable population percentage of this demographic that feels their careers have stalled because we are perceived as these model minorities who, you know our place and work hard and have good technical knowledge, but have less or have less experience or emphasis on the importance of the softer skills with regards to human communication, human psychology, and different personality traits like being more assertive, more outspoken, willing to be a contrarian. These are a lot of the personality traits or the qualities that companies look for in a Western environment. And so, whether it's because of culture or just the way that we are, Asian people of Asian descent tend to be underrepresented in management in Western societies. And I know that this trend of media, there's more and more movies made of, you know, people of Asian descent, uh, Westerners, I guess, of Asian descent, politics, all this stuff. There is a growing trend, and so I'm just adding to that, and wanting to help people like me focus a little bit more on the soft skills and on the communication, which is why I'm making this video. One of the reasons, and to work on these skills that are beyond just the technical expertise. So a lot of it is potentially culturally based. Again, we're taught to put our heads down, to conform, to work hard, to our education system kind of leads us away from creativity and from risk taking. And we're less likely to promote ourselves, to speak up. Physically, we tend to be shorter and smaller. And the reality is that we perceive leadership in these qualities that uh, people of Asian descent generally lack or don't prioritize. Let's see. The truth is that barring some incredible mass immigration, Americans of Asian descent will continue to remain a relatively small minority of the U.S. population. Um, and unless we start to prioritize these other aspects of the human experience, of verbal fluency, of communication, of psychology, of networking, we will continue to be underrepresented and have a bamboo ceiling on what we can achieve in the Western professional environment. And so if this sounds like you, if you feel like if you are someone who is caught between these two worlds, and you want some support, and you want to stop doubting yourself. You want to prioritize your people skills. You want to become more charismatic. You want to step out of your conditioning of just being a cog in the machine, and and you hope to take on a bigger leadership role in your life, not only professionally but personally. Definitely consider reaching out to me. In the links below, there should be uh, a link to my free ancestral father checklist. There's the book or the Google slides that I made of the ancestral father, and an application to work with me if you feel like you need some support and you're ready to kind of take that next level, that next step. If you're tired or you feel stalled in what you're doing and you're ready to kind of discover and embody your own truth, I'm happy to connect and to see if there's any way that I can support you. It's what I feel my mission is, and it's what I love to do. So definitely reach out. Also, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely as well reach out. Let me know what you think about this. I'm just one person with my ideas, and I'm definitely open to any kind of discourse, agreements, disagreements, various thoughts, etc., because we're in this together. And I think, again, that people like us who are caught between these various cultures are going to be the new leaders of tomorrow, because as the world becomes increasingly interconnected, we're going to need empowered leaders who kind of have a foot in each door to bridge the gap and unite the world under a single banner of the human species. Because otherwise, without us as kind of mediators, we know from history that when cultures collide and beliefs collide, there's a lot of hatred, a lot of misunderstandings, ostracism, blaming, and worst case scenario, violence. So yeah, come join me along this journey, and I truly look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.